Christmas. A time of enjoying family,
Jacob.
sipping some nog, and reveling in the dulcet tones
It's about time these kids knew the truth.
of a raving grandpa.
You need to quit telling these youngins about Santa Claus.
Charles Green is on a tear this holiday season.
The time people grew up in.
There's a Santa.
That's like saying you believing in the government.
My dad gets pretty angry over anything.
That's Santa Claus right there. The almighty wallet. The almighty wallet.
He had been going all day about how, there is no Santa and how he pays for Christmas.
Goodwill.
Michael and his wife try to shield their kids from the grumpy old elf.
Well, I'm sorry. You're gonna put your fingers in your ears.
This might just be the meanest grandfather ever.
No, Virginia, there is no Santa Claus. Take it from angry grandpa.
Let's face it, Christmas is all about the presents. Take John here. He really wants a new car. But what he gets?
Your holidays be filled with surprises and joy.
Oh my God!
Looks like he'll have to wait for that sweet ride. But hey, at least he already has the airbag. Auckland, New Zealand. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. A group of St. Nick impersonators have gotten together for a little pre-holiday cheer.
Hey, nice eyes.
They engage in some playful punchiness before it's time for their appointed rounds. But a few bad Santas are about to ruin it for everybody. Fueled by booze, a minor dispute quickly turns physical. One Santa throws a punch, but he's so drunk he elbows a Mrs. Claus instead. The revelers try to hold back the brawlers. Finally, the unjolly elf is led away by his friends. But police swoop in and nab him. Kris Kringle is now off to jail. Christmas turned a bit ugly down under, but authorities were able to separate the naughty from the nice. Here's a guy who's getting into the Christmas spirit. Or rather, spirits. Looks like Santa's little helper broke into Mrs. Claus's liquor cabinet.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. It's so gin and urine.
And now this dope has hit the top shelf. The elf is down. Here, buddy, maybe you should take a seat. Or not. Okay, he's not getting up again. Something tells me tomorrow he'll be celebrating an all-new holiday.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. It's so gin and urine.
Christmas heave. When you're dressed up as old St. Nick, you're expected to act in a civilized manner. But this boozy Santa Claus doesn't seem to respect the suit as much as he should. You'd never catch a real Kris Kringle trying a keg stand. Ho, ho, holy. The jolly old booze hound goes up for a guzzle and lands right on his North Pole. But at least he tries to stay in character. Right now he's saying, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, help me up. On Christmas Eve, this family loves to roast chestnuts on an open fire. Except for Pops. He prefers to roast the whole house. Of course, it does offer him a chance to get some use out of that butt-ugly holiday sweater. Dad's new tradition probably isn't going to catch on anywhere else. But it's definitely catching on here. When your dance partner is Jose Cuervo, you're really asking for trouble.
Careful, baby, careful.
It's Christmas Eve, and Mom's having a little fun with the kids' gifts. But that bottle of booze she's been hitting is about to hit back. This is why you should leave Santa cookies and milk, not cookies and tequila. Oh well, Mom will be just fine. And here's a bright idea. Instead of some boring ice show, this small town boasts the annual Stiltscapades. Why don't more cities do this? Because it's stupid. Now all this guy wants for Christmas is his 2 front teeth. The ones that just rolled into the gutter. New Brighton, Minnesota. It's Christmas time, and the Herlovskis are nestled in the family garage. They're awaiting a visit from Santa, or as he's known in his day job, Dad.
We get together. I play Santa for all the kids, cousins, you know, whoever.
This year, John has hatched what he thinks is a brilliant plan to surprise the kids.
I figure they're gonna think the sleigh's on the roof. Garage door opens, I jump, land on the hood, on my feet, you know, one of them kind of deals. Presents fall, grab them, get down, start handing out presents. Didn't work that way.
Where'd it go?
Here comes Santa Claus. Instead of landing on his feet, the clumsy Kris Kringle slips on the snowy pickup and shatters the windshield with his head. Everyone pauses in surprise. Santa wasn't supposed to have a crash landing. But it turns out St. Nick's been nipping at the eggnog. And he lost his footing on the roof.
This is the drunkest I've ever been. I look down and you can't see because the beard's like this, the belly's like this. You got your glasses fogging up. You don't see anything.
John tries to stay jolly for the crowd. But what he really needs is a sleigh ride to the ER.
I had whiplash down the side of my neck for a week for sure. Cracked a rib.
I got 3 ribs that are broken.
This family expected a visit from Mr. Claus, but this year, they got Blitzen. If you think the job of Santa's little helper doesn't really exist, then you've never worked in porn. The guy in the elf outfit is a newcomer who goes by the name of James Dean. And the girls are here to, well...
The plot wasn't really very important, but what happened was basically it was just supposed to be a holiday-themed scene.
He's pretty nervous about today's performance. When the lights come on, James is supposed to try to escape. But the set is as flimsy as the plot.
Oh my God, are you okay?
James bumps the fake fireplace, and the heavy mantle pounds him in the cranium. His fast-acting co-star barely avoids getting nailed from behind. But judging from the reactions of the crew,
Yeah, good job getting out of the way, baby.
you'd think her butt was more important than James's head.
Yeah, what exactly happened?
I thought at first I had a concussion or something of that nature. Apparently, I have a really hard head.
No comment.
Needless to say, that is a blooper reel.
But whether it's naughty or nice, James knows he'd rather be putting a notch on his belt than in his skull.
It's Christmas time, and Santa's out shopping for all the little boys and girls. After the jewelry store clerk heads into the back room, Santa sees something that the kids will like. No, he's not stuffing his stocking. He's shoving the loot in his jacket so he can quickly get back to his getaway sleigh. Safe to say you won't see this guy sitting next to Cody on Kathy Lee's next Christmas special.
Well, continuing the theme, a thief gets caught on this next tape, too. The crime is unusual, and the suspect is a surprise. It's a beautiful but dim Christmas for Bruce Hennings and his family. You see, his Christmas lights are mysteriously missing.
This is all that's left of our string of lights.
Over $150 worth of lights, gone. Someone or something is stealing the light bulbs, leaving the chewed strands behind. But who could it be?
You can see where he has cut the end of these.
Bruce grabs his home video camera in search of his Christmas Grinch. As he documents the scene of the crime, Bruce hears rustling in the trees. Could it be the culprit?
You're not going to believe it.
To his surprise, he sees the crook.
There he goes.
It's a squirrel who's stealing his Christmas.
Is taking the bulbs off from the Christmas lights and storing them as nuts.
The video doesn't lie, folks. This sneaky squirrel is chewing on the wire, and after unscrewing the bulb, he runs off, hiding it up in his tree like a nut.
And off he goes.
But finding the felon isn't enough for Bruce. He wants to catch the pesky critter.
I have a trap for him.
So he sets a trap using not nuts, not acorns, but Christmas lights.
There he is. And I hope he goes for it.
The nutty squirrel falls for the bait and ends up in the cage.
Finally got the squirrel. He's right here.
Guess it's in your hand, isn't it?
Finally got the squirrel.
I can't see him.
In keeping with the Christmas spirit, Bruce sets him free, far, far away from the Christmas tree.
Lots of folks work over the holidays to spread cheer, like old Rudolph here. After all, every parade needs a big celebrity. If only the workers pulling the strings had planned today's route a little better. All Rudy needs is a little muscle power.
Yeah! Almost got it!
And Miracle on Meadow Street.
Come on, Rudolph! No! Don't go further this way!
No wonder they laugh and call him names. 'Tis a week before Christmas, and the party's just ended. When in this garage comes a guest who's attended. Why, who should it be but our good friend, Kris Kringle? And wait, why is he stopping? To let out a tinkle. It seems that Rudolph isn't the only one around here with a red nose. As for the rest of his face, the bumper makes sure that'll be red, too. Somehow the pickled Santa picks himself off the floor. Now, if only he could find that darn sleigh. But first, he's gonna let a few more pints of hard cider fly. Though he probably should have found somewhere a little more private. Two residents are startled by St. Nick's South Pole and shove him to the floor. Wow, there's a gift he could have kept to himself. The jolly man wisely opts to catch a cab on the street. But if any creatures are stirring when he gets home, they better keep it down. Santa's got a headache. Cincinnati, Ohio. Matt Willicott's inflatable snowman spreads cheer throughout the neighborhood.
He was our first display, our first inflatable. We received it as a gift from my mother. And so he's, has kind of a sentimental value.
But the holiday icon is having a rough year after numerous attacks by vandals.
This year, we had the first stabbing, if that's what you want to call it. He got taken down and found a screwdriver inside of him. That's when I decided to put the surveillance camera in.
The investment pays off. The brutal stabbing is swift and savage. Two cold-hearted slashers fillet Frosty. His life-giving air wheezes out into the winter night.
My wife came running downstairs and said that, the snowman had been attacked again.
By the time he makes it outside, the body is ice cold. The hidden video is made public, and the stab-happy hoods turn themselves in.
The last I heard was both of them were getting a sentence for 3 months in jail.
With the assailants behind bars, it'll be a safer holiday for a jolly, happy soul who's once again alive as he can be.
On lawns across America, expensive ornaments highlight the season of giving. But when small-time crooks take to the streets, they get wrapped up in the spirit of stealing. In Fort Worth, Texas, a truck of misfits stop at a convenience store for some winter cheer. Unplugging the reindeer lights, the sneaky Scrooges shove them one by one into their souped-up sleigh, then ride off into the night with the stolen Rudolph. Like a sinister Santa, the ruffians only hit this address once. But other decorators aren't so lucky. In North Richland Hills, Texas, one family's festive display is the pride of the neighborhood, until a car of holiday hooligans ruins the exhibit. After cramming the stolen decorations into their car, the gang of Grinches speeds off. The homeowners try not to let the crime spoil their merry mood. But just as they settle down for a silent night, the robbers return. They've made a list, and they're checking it twice. One guy grabs the tree, but the other wants the reason for the season. He snags a figurine of the baby Jesus, and the twosome tears off with the trimmings. These Yuletide yahoos might make a getaway for now, but the cops working these cases will get the real present: the security tapes. Now it could be just a matter of time before these not-so-cheerful crooks are celebrating in the slammer. High Point, North Carolina. The school Christmas pageant kicks off with a song from the first graders. And Mercedes Lopez is there to get her singing 7-year-old on video.
Everything was nice. There were children, parents. I mean, more and more people were arriving to see their, kids perform.
The faculty worked hard to get these kids poised for performance. But it's the grown-ups who are about to have a temper tantrum. The brawl starts when one parent accuses another's child of pushing her kid.
That caused them to start arguing back and forth, and then they started fighting in the gym in front of everyone.
Witnesses blindly take sides, and the violence spirals out of control.
They were really, really fighting. I mean, the pulling hair, the throwing chairs, the biting, the kicking.
Two mad mothers tear at each other's faces. The guy in the red sweatshirt jumps in to pull them apart, but ends up getting pulled into the fight.
It was chaos. There were so many people. There were kids running everywhere. The teachers were going crazy.
As parents pile on the maniacal moms, a teacher runs in to shield the children.
There were so many kids crying that you wouldn't believe, that they were really, really scared.
Finally, a chaperone announces the cops' arrival, and the instigators hit the bricks.
By the time we got outside, the police was already there, and some of the parents had already disappeared.
With the fight on tape, detectives easily track down the grade school gladiators and ban them from the auditorium. Because when these adults acted like children and spoiled the play, police were forced to give them a timeout.
Belfouche, South Dakota. Playing Santa is a full-time job for Jim Emery.
I have a lot of fun doing it. A lot of kids that don't believe in it, by the time I get done, I can get them believing.
You ready to eat some food, huh?
The only thing this Santa loves more than his job is his reindeer, especially Casper.
Casper was a real friendly reindeer. Casper would have been a good Rudolph, he just didn't have a shiny red nose. He was one of my buddies.
But all that changed the day that Casper went bad.
I never in 100 years I'd ever thought he did what he did.
6:30 a.m. As he does every day, Jim goes out to feed his herd. But he forgets that it's mating season and steps too close to Casper's favorite female, Blossom. So Casper goes on the attack.
And he just hit me and run me out of the corral. I stayed on my feet for a long time, hanging on to his horns, just backing up. I just hung on for dear life.
But Jim can't hold off the animal much longer. Suddenly, the angry reindeer grinds him into the dirt. His neighbors, Debbie and Christine Heydrich, hear Jim's screams and rush to his aid.
I could see the reindeer had Jim down. I could see horns sticking everywhere, and I didn't know if they were through him or what. It looked like it was killing him.
Oh, yes. Ambulance. What's going on? I need your help. The reindeer's got Jim down on the pasture.
By now, the savage attack has gone on for more than 30 minutes.
The adrenaline was going so bad that I never even felt any horns go in me. I was just scared to let go. I couldn't get my leg loose because I had a horn through the calf of my leg.
Jim fears he won't see another Christmas.
It went through my head. I said, I wonder how my mother will bury me. She'll bury me in my Santa Claus suit or what?
Attention Belfouche Search and Rescue. You're needed at the Jim Emery residence south on 85. We have a reindeer on the rampage. It's attacking a subject. Search and rescue. Respond to the Jim Emery residence.
Police Captain Larry Roberdeau arrives on the scene.
151B1 on 1097 out here at Emery's will be out of the car. With all my years of law enforcement, this is the most bizarre case I've ever been on involving a reindeer and a man. Jim was laying on the ground, locked up in the horns, and I had a hold of the horns, and he was dragging both of us backwards. Pulled us like we were nothing.
Nearly an hour and a half into the struggle, more help arrives. But even the strength of 3 men can't contain Casper's rage. Finally, one of the men manages to hog-tie the beast. Bruised and bloody, Jim staggers over to a waiting ambulance. As he's treated for his injuries, Jim gets the bad news. Casper, once the most gentle deer in the herd, has suffered a fatal heart attack.
When they come up and told me he died, it just made me sick. I just had a lost feeling, you know, because he was a good reindeer for everybody. He was a very good animal.
But what's even more shocking than the attack is what happened next.
My dad cooked him up, so that's what we did with him. And he tasted real good.
Although it's Santa's job to know who's been naughty and who's been nice, Jim should have known that when you try to make a wild animal into a pet, you have to be prepared to suffer the consequences.
No, this isn't how they plow the streets in Ashley, Illinois. It's just a group of kids having a good time on Christmas Day. Using the hood of a car as a sleigh and an ATV as their reindeer, the boys glide over the ice and snow. They are blissfully unaware that in just a few minutes, one of them will be on his way to the hospital. This is 10-year-old Dylan Doulard. When his cousin James rode up on a four-wheeler pulling a makeshift sled, Dylan, his older brother, and their younger cousin eagerly hopped on.
I didn't have any concerns about whether I'd get hurt. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal.
Several wipeouts later, the 10-year-old is having second thoughts.
Oh man,
and so is his cousin. She decides she's had enough and she heads inside. But it takes more than a few jolts and a face full of snow to kill these boys' fearless spirit of youth. Now it's just Dylan and his brother. And without the extra weight of their cousin, the sled really moves. But the faster they go, the harder they stop. Dylan is starting to feel like a crash test dummy. Once again, he finds himself lying stunned and covered in snow.
You hurting? Here's your quote, you hurting?
This is his chance to get off, to go inside where it's safe. But he decides to stay on for just one more ride. It'll prove to be a life-altering mistake. The crude toboggan slingshots from side to side as the four-wheeler zips around corners. The boys are going roughly 25 miles an hour with no protection and even less control when it finally happens. Dylan lets out a chilling scream as his body is flung into a sharp-edged metal signpost.
It knocked me off the car hood. I was on the ground. My first thought was, what hit me?
Oh no. Dylan's wounds are severe. The impact broke 3 of his ribs and cut his spleen into several pieces. He will have to undergo emergency surgery to have it removed.
Just slid out and hit this post.
Weeks later, a recovered Dylan is left with a 1-foot-long scar down his stomach. It's a permanent reminder of his painful ordeal. He realizes now that he should have gotten off at the first sign of danger, instead of waiting for this sign to take him by surprise.
I'd tell anybody else that wanted to do this, don't even look at the sled.
Every year around the holidays, visions of sugar plums get turned into nightmares when Christmas trees go up in flames. Luckily, this one is part of a demonstration, the kind local fire departments stage to teach the public about Christmas tree safety. These carefully planned media events usually come off without a hitch. Usually. This holiday reveler is part of a setup for a fire safety demo being shot in Florida. The mannequin is fondly known as the victim, and he's about to find out why. To get the tree burning merry and bright, the firefighters pour the highly combustible chemical acetone into straw hidden around the base.
Is this considered awesome?
Just a little more, to make sure the tree ignites properly for the camera. Okay, a little more. to guarantee the fire really gets going. And hey, if one flammable chemical is good, well, 2 must be even better. Okay, 3, just to be on the safe side. Cover with highly flammable plastic, and this fire safety demo is ready for its close-up.
Okay, what we're doing right now is we're going to demonstrate what will happen. We have a candle sitting near the Christmas tree. What happens is sometimes a pet or a child playing near the tree will come by and bust the candle over.
Finally, it's showtime. But maybe those chemicals aren't so combustible after all. Then again.
Jesus Christ! Okay. You alright? Sorry about that.
It's a good thing this training shed is fireproof. Within seconds, the flames reach 1,000 degrees. A blast of water knocks the fire down. Just long enough for a firefighter to make a daring rescue of Mr. Victim. That was never in the script.
Put it out.
But as the firefighters pour more water on the flames, they soon realize there's a problem. Trying to quell a chemical fire with water can actually cause the flames to spread. Stomping the fire underfoot probably isn't in the training manual either.
Are we standing in gasoline right now? No. If it was, you would know.
But this is in the manual. Always keep a foam fire extinguisher handy, just in case a stunt like this goes wrong. The demonstration's finally over, and thankfully no one's seriously hurt. The only casualty is the victim, and perhaps some firefighters' wounded pride.
Speaking of crappy moments, this reporter is prepping a live shot from Santa's workshop.
Hey, buddy.
But this fella isn't interested in playing reindeer games. As she kneels down for a close-up, Rudolph starts blitzing. The young buck has no antlers, but he sure looks horny.
Never had that happen before.
Here's a surefire way to end up on Santa's naughty list. Steal a Christmas tree. This customer seems harmless enough with his festive hat and his hippie jacket, but don't be fooled. With a small diversion to the salesman, the thief makes his move. Having dealt with this situation before, the owner springs into action and takes the crook down. It's easy to see where this scheme went wrong. First, he tries to steal the trees in broad daylight. Second, he tries to steal 2 trees. And third, he steals from a man who makes his living with a chainsaw. Drunk drivers are an all too familiar sight on the holidays.
My name is Trooper Thermos with the State Patrol. Have you been drinking tonight?
Couple at a Christmas party.
A couple at a Christmas party.
Yeah.
All right, why don't you step out of the car for me real quick then?
And it doesn't matter who you are, you should never, ever drink and drive. Even if you're an elf?
It's a nice costume.
The patrolman puts the tipsy toy maker through the paces. Although, to be fair, walking in a straight line in those shoes would be hard for anybody.
Speak up. 4. Take a deep breath and blow.
The wee man then receives a breathalyzer test, which he fails miserably.
You're over the legal limit of .08.
Clearly, he should have hitched a sleigh ride home.
I am placing you under arrest for driving under the influence tonight. Put your hands on the car for me.
Now, instead of toys, this bad elf will be making tiny license plates. Come one, come all, come revel in this. Let's celebrate the 12 nutshots of Christmas. That was the first, and here's number 2.
Number 3's even worse. Santa, what's wrong with you? Number 4's fun will hit the skids. Now, he can't have kids. Santa 5 just wants to be left by himself. But hark, who's up there? It's his good friend, the elf. Now this Santa's spry. You can tell he's no slacker. He should be in that show, you know, the Nutcracker. This merry young man, he just decked the halls. But now he might need some new Christmas balls. Number 8 thinks he's tough. Till his stocking's stuffed. This is Idiot 9. And 10's not far behind. Number 11 is as bright as a candle. But just wait till you see number 12's broken handle. Off Dasher, off Dancer, off Prancer and Vixen, off 2 big shot glasses.
He is me.
Right down on his Dixon.
Are they bleeding?
That's the end of the hits. No ifs, ands, or buts. 12 Christmas nitwits. 24 swollen nuts.